Our next guest is the first stand-up comedian to get a standing ovation on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon.
And you can see how funny he is for yourself at the Tacoma Comedy Club this weekend. We are joined today by comedian Pete Lee. Welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me here.
Thanks for being here.
This is wonderful. I love your set. I love your. I like that you did a green couch just for St. Patrick's.
Just for today.
Is this just for today?
No,
you guys,
the couch.
Your production budget is at least $1,500 a day.
We are very coordinated here. Now, I know there's a unique story about you and The Tonight Show. Share it with us.
Yeah, so I've always been a huge fan of The Tonight Show, a huge fan of Jimmy Fallon, and I wanted to be on the show. And then all of a sudden, I was performing in New York City, and in the crowd, Jimmy Fallon just stood up, and he's like, so I told this joke. I never want to offend anybody. Like the other day, this guy sneezed, and I want to say bless you, but instead I go, happy holidays. And Jimmy Fallon was in the crowd, and he goes, oh my God, yes. He's like, I love this guy. And he clapped, and I was like, I'm on stage, and I guess people should be starstruck for me, but I was starstruck by an audience member, and it was Jimmy Fallon. I go, oh my God, Jimmy Fallon, and I want to say I love you, but instead I go, I love your Tonight Show, and I go, I love your impulse control, because he had just stood up and interrupted the show, and he's like, thanks, I don't have any, I'll tell you about it later. And I was like, we're gonna talk later. And then after the show, he came up to me, and he's like, yeah, I have no impulse control. He goes, like, I was at Justin Timberlake's wedding, and I kept just taking the microphone and giving speeches like in Bridesmaids. And he's like just the coolest, sweetest guy, and he invited me on the show, and I've been on there 7 times now.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, it changed my whole life, my whole career, and I'm probably here in your studio because of it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he was at your show that night.
Me too. Yeah, it changed everything. And then now, because of him, I'm viral on TikTok. Isn't that crazy? That's the new thing.
It's wild. We're on it all day long.
Yeah,
we love it.
I'm 45 years old, and I think I'm the only influencer on TikTok that also sleeps with a CPAP mask.
Oh my gosh. You want to get that good sleep, though.
You got to get that good sleep, and this is 45. Yeah.
Anything for good sleep.
Anything for good sleep.
I know your shows have a lot of audience interaction. How do you pick the people that you're going to talk to in the crowd? I
have no idea. I literally have no idea, and I take a GoPro on stage, and if somebody really doesn't want to be talked to, I always start it off by like I'll have my GoPro, and I'll be like, so if anybody doesn't want to be on camera, just like give me a nod, and I won't put you on camera. But I'm usually, oh yeah, you can see a clip right there. I'll pick up my camera, and I'll literally point it at an audience member and his wife, and I'll be like, is this your mistress? You know, like welcome to Cheaters Exposed. Yeah,
oh, no.
So that's the shows are very interactive. When I first started bringing the GoPro on stage, I just wanted to be able to have like a secret audience camera, and then people, you know, when you put a camera in front of people, we're on camera all day. People are on Zooms, they're, you know, on their camera phones, they're on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. And so people saw the camera, and I just saw them just like staring at it. Oh. And I was like, oh, okay, so they know, so I need to point it out. And now I'll actually like take it, and if I'm talking to somebody, I'll point it at them, and it becomes a whole thing.
Oh my God.
And like, hey, you're on the spot. And they love it. I thought they'd hate it, but they love it.
It's like a new bit.
It's a new bit.
Yeah.
And now people will come to the crowds, and they actually will pay more to sit up front so that I pick on them.
Really?
And
I'm always the person like hiding in the background because I'm so shy when it comes to comedy shows.
Yeah, I went to a comedy show recently, and there was a comedian on stage, and I was wearing a hat. Nobody knew that it was me, but I was there with a bunch of friends, and the comedian's like, and you, what's your deal? And I was like, I'm a comedian, don't talk to me. And so I'm actually you. I don't want to be talked to when I'm in the crowd. But when I'm up there, I want to talk to everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I know you just got to the Seattle area, Tacoma area. Have you noticed anything weird about Washingtonians yet, or are you still getting to know us?
Well, my fiance's parents, they live in Washougal, Washington, so I spend a lot of time in Washington already. Do I notice anything weird about them? Yeah, I mean, you guys are weird.
Us personally or all of Washington?
I thrive on being weird.
Yeah,
it's
me
fine.
too.
No, you're both babes. I don't know how to,
thank you.
I don't know how to put it, but
You can come back to our show.
Yeah, you can
yeah, there's nothing weird about the two of you, but yeah, I mean, this whole city, a lot of the state, they pride themselves on just being kind of cuckoo, right?
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
they love being. I mean, it's like keep Seattle weird. Yeah, there's that like kind of hipster. I don't even know what to call it. I'm so old. I don't even know what hipsters call themselves anymore. Is it still hipsters?
I don't know either.
It was Visco Girl. I can't think of what it is now.
Yeah,
I don't know. I call them hipsters. They stay hipsters forever to me.
They stay, yeah. I just know that if you go to a brunch in Seattle, you're going to see a lot of weird hats. You know,
Sure.
It's a lot of people that are like, this is my individuality. And I'm like,
Ate lots of comfy clothes.
yeah, I'm like,
Yes.
sure.
Right. Because you're from Wisconsin originally, right?
I'm from Wisconsin, and like, it's not that we don't have hipsters there. It's that we just, I don't know. It's like I say that in Wisconsin, like, because we're like one of the top educated states, and then it's also super redneck. So I'm like, Wisconsin's the only place where you'll see a Tesla 3 with a dead deer on top of it.
Oh my God!
And sorry for the visual. I'm very sorry that I said that.
And you live in LA now?
I live in LA.
Yeah. And you used to live in New York. What do you miss about like the other places you used to live?
Well, I mean, I love New York because I was just such a weirdo there.
Yeah.
Like, I would walk down the street, and I say hi to everybody. I'm the most friendly person that you'll ever meet. And I'd be like, hi, and people would be like, no. They'd be like, you're scaring, hey, you're scaring my kid with your friendliness. But I want to say hi to everyone. But that's what I like about here. People here are super friendly because they consume 300 milligrams of caffeine a day, and so they just want to talk.
The energy has to go somewhere.
The energy has to go somewhere.
So you're a part of some big TV projects right now. Tell us about that.
Oh gosh, so I have something. I don't know if this is what you're asking about, but I actually am I'm the lead voice in a cartoon called Jam Van, and the executive producers are Bill Sherman and Lin-Manuel Miranda from
Icon.
Yeah, and I auditioned for it. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell this, but Wayne Brady, he was doing my part, and he couldn't do anymore, so he quit. And anyway, so then they brought me in as a replacement, and the first thing that I had to do is do a duet with Lin-Manuel Miranda from Hamilton.
Gosh.
And I was like, this is like my Make-A-Wish. This is crazy. And it's now on YouTube Kids because Lin wanted it to be just shot out to as many people as could see it. And so you can go to YouTube Kids, type in Jam Band, and you'll see it. I play a cartoon lamb.
Very
that's
sweet.
so me. But
What have you learned from working with Lin-Manuel Miranda?
oh my God, I've learned that I have self-control because, which previously I thought that I didn't, but I mean, I probably love him more than any celebrity ever, and I admire his work. I've listened to Hamilton a million times, and I actually got through the whole thing without just hugging him and spooning him while standing up. Like,
Did you tell him later that you were a big fan?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I love you so much. He's like, your eyes said it.
He probably gets that a
He
lot.
knew, yeah.
I saw in your stand-up, you talk about, you know, life as a people pleaser. Any scenarios lately where you've kind of like run into that a little bit more?
Oh my God. Well, so I just love people, and this is a true story. I was driving along. I was on like a 6-hour car drive. I was on hour like 4.5, and I hadn't talked to anybody. Like none of my friends had picked up. And I saw a state trooper just hanging out in the median, and I just sped up because I wanted to talk to him.
Oh my gosh.
This is a true story. He pulled me over. He's like, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" I was like, "Because I have an awful need to connect." And he was like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I wanted to talk to somebody. I didn't talk to anybody." And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna have to give you a ticket that's like $200." I was like, "My therapist charges $250." And he was like, "Have you been drinking?" I was like, "I could grab a beer." So happy St. Patty's Day. That's the theme.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We really had a great time.
Oh, yeah, thank
Comedian
you.
Pete Lee, everybody. He's at the Tacoma Comedy Club this weekend. We posted all the info on our website. You got to go see him. The guy's great. It's on fox13seattle.com/Studio 13 Live.